Box Nation have decided not to bid for the rights to screen Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury in the UK. They had apparently prepared a £12 million Box Nation bid to get those rights, and there were obviously other interested parties like Sky Sports in the running, but inexplicably and apparently for no explanation, no public explanation has been given yet, but they've decided to pull out. And the ramifications of this, the consequences of this, mean that Tyson Fury is now going to lose 1.6 million from his purse. So he'll be getting significantly less. He was due to be getting about 4 million for fighting Klitschko, and because of Box Nation pulling out with their 12 million bid, it will now be reduced to 2.4 million because Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports have stepped in, and now they're going to get the fight. I'm disappointed, to be honest with you, that Box Nation have decided to pull out. Maybe they didn't think it was financially viable. Maybe they didn't think they'd recoup that 12 million. I'm disappointed just as a boxing fan because Box Nation certainly would have offered much better value for money for not just this fight, but in general, because Box Nation, I believe, is £12 a month. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of Frank Warren at all in terms of the way he treats fighters over the years, or has treated fighters over the years. I'm not a big fan of him at all, or even as a human being. But in terms of Box Nation offering value for money, it's far better than what Sky Sports are offering, because this fight between Vladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury is now going to be on Sky Box Office, and I'm hearing it's going to cost about £20, which is the same price as Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, that pay-per-view. So, very disappointed. If you pay the £12 a month Box Nation subscription, you're going to get a whole month of boxing for nearly half the price of what you're going to get for just ordering Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury. So you can see there's a massive difference in terms of value for money. Now, this fight is obviously going to be on October 24th. I don't know if Sky Sports are going to try and add anything else to that to try and make it a viable pay-per-view. I doubt they'll add anything that can really justify that price tag of $19.99 or $19.95, whatever it's going to be. I doubt they're going to add anything that's going to justify that price tag. Now, there may be some Americans saying that, what are you talking about, Hatman? That's not even a bad price. Because in the States, you pay a lot more than that. £20 is the equivalent to about $40 or so, something like that. And in the UK, in America, the normal price for pay-per-views is about $60, which is about £30, there or thereabouts. So Americans are used to paying far more for their pay-per-views. But one of the reasons, I think, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but one of the reasons why it seems that pay-per-views are more expensive in America is because the pay-per-view shows over there, as far as I know anyway, when it comes to boxing, don't have any commercials, no adverts. So they make all their money from the pay-per-view buys. Whereas in the UK, they have pay-per-view shows and they have commercials, you know, adverts as well. So they're making money from the pay-per-view buys and from the commercials. I think that's the reason why it's significantly, or one of the reasons anyway, why it's more expensive in the United States for these pay-per-views. But nonetheless, in the UK, we're used to paying for pay-per-view like between 10 and 15 pounds. Okay, that's like between $20 and $30 for pay-per-view. That's what we're used to. That's what we've been paying for a very, very long time. And now it seems that Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports are trying to push these pay-per-view prices up. Really and truly, Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury is nowhere near as big a fight, not even close to being as big a fight as Mayweather Pacquiao. So how in the world you can justify charging that much is beyond me. And when you think about Mayweather Pacquiao being pay-per-view in the UK, yes, the UK had to, the UK broadcasters had to bid against each other to try and secure the rights to show that fight. And that obviously would have cost more than paying for the average fight from the United States. But nonetheless, can it really be justified? I mean, I don't know the mathematics, I haven't seen their figures, but can it really be justified by charging a £20 for a pay-per-view for the Mayweather Pacquiao and now for the Fury Klitschko? Because Eddie Hearn's rationale and his reasoning for these pay-per-views is that he can only put on certain fights and pay the fighters what they need to be paid in order to sign for those fights. He can only pay them that kind of money with the pay-per-view model. But here now we have a situation where Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports are not paying either one of those fighters in terms of paying them a purse. They've got nothing to do with paying those fighters the purses. So why the fights Sky Box Office? Why are they pay-per-view on Sky? Since Sky and Eddie Hearn are not paying those fighters. You can't use that Eddie Hearn rationale for those situations like Mayweather Pacquiao or Klitschko Fury. So it is kind of dubious methods now by Sky Sports. It's pretty, pretty worrying to see this trend. And it's going to obviously force more and more people to start streaming. A lot of people watching this are already streaming, but you know how it goes. So give me your reaction to this news story, people, in terms of Tyson Fury missing out on 1.6 million. His purse will now be about 2.4 instead of 4 million. How will that affect Tyson Fury from a mental point of view? Because yes, 2.4 million is still a lot of money, but I don't care how much money it is when you were supposed to be getting 4 million and now it's cut down to 2.4. You're going to be pissed. I don't care who you are going to be pissed. Will that affect Tyson Fury? Will it make him more hungry and motivate him even more? Or will it have the opposite effect? We know he's kind of a mentally erratic character. And like I say, what do you think about Sky Sports and this whole pay-per-view business? They're now charging pay-per-view for fights which they're not even involved in terms of putting them on or paying the fighters. Worrying times, people, in my opinion anyway. Maybe you have a different opinion. Drop your comments below and let me know how you feel. It's happening. I'm out.